Hello, AllSiders, if that's the right word, friends, supporters, investors, believers, or community, whatever. Thank you for being here. I'm John Gable, one of the co-founders of AllSides, and I want to tell you a little bit about an April Fool's prank we just did. Now, we're not the first news organization to do this. It's not the first time we've done it. We've done it in the past. I think the most famous one is one that BBC did years ago, where they actually had a film crew go out and film people pulling strands of spaghetti for the spaghetti harvest off of trees because they were harvesting spaghetti. That was probably the most famous one, but we're not that sophisticated. What we did was we announced that we had been purchased, or we sold out, to bipartisan billionaires Robert Murdoch and George Soros. We had a little fun with that, bipartisan. And we kind of went with it a little bit more and talked about how we're going to use all that money to buy every data center in southeastern Nebraska, that we would require employees to post on Truth Social and Blue Sky, depending on your political affiliation. And, of course, if you post on X, you must belittle, attack, just misrepresent the other side, because those are, of course, best practices. Now, we had fun with that. And the comments, particularly we had on X and other social media, were great. They were really fun. A lot of people loved it. Now, it was fun to see that some people at first took it seriously, and you saw them unfollow us, and then they would follow us again a little bit later, once they kind of got the joke. But there is a serious point behind this. We had a lot of fun with it. One is that news organizations can and do sell out. We often talk about partisan agendas. I'm selling out to a personal agenda or a political agenda or who they like, or big money, like all the clickbait we see, which is kind of selling out to all that clickbait. Sometimes, you got to survive, I understand, but it's kind of what's going on. And we don't talk as much about the possibility of selling out to wealthy people and organizations, to big power or political folks. Whether it's nonprofit or for-profit, they kind of go where the big money is. Well, something to understand about us. First of all, most boards are legally required to do what's financially in the best interest of the company. And so a Bezos or a Musk or Soros or Murdoch can come in and write a big check and say, we want to destroy you, or we want to use you in some other way. And you'd be legally required to do the right financial thing and accept that. Not at AllSides. We actually carefully designed ourselves to be a public benefit company, which means our mission can come first. In other words, if investors come and they want to invest in us to do something against our mission, we can say no legally. And we also can do it internally because we have a multi-partisan board that owns over 2/3 of the company. We also have over 400 other investors and owners of the company. And that's actually a lot of thanks to you. A lot of folks listening to this are actually investors in AllSides, and thank you for that. And we will continue doing this. This is important work we're doing, not just for a week or a day or a month, but years and years. And so this breadth of ownership is very important, and we really do appreciate that. And I wanted to say thank you for helping us remain independent and do what we need to do. Thanks.